Good morning, guys. Welcome to another episode of Xah Talk Show. Today is August 13th, 2019, Tuesday, 8 o'clock a.m. San Francisco time. And so we are going to talk about. So I got prepared, and we have several topics. So the topics are, it's listed in the description, and so the topics are, possible topics are tutorial going over all JavaScript what's. Okay, that's number one. And number two, tutorial on JavaScript ES 2015 features. Number three, random chat going over my blogs on keyboard or programming or Emacs or math or Unicode. And topic number four, Emacs styled setup and tips. Or topics number five, any other topics, just type it in the chat box. So, look at the descriptions. Hi, guys. I got two people here. So, look at the descriptions and type a topic, and let's, talk about that today. And, okay, so let me set the window here. And, yeah, so what shall we talk about today? Type a topic, guys. So let me get my Firefox up, my Emacs, and let's start Xah start command log. So on the left pane, you can see all my Emacs commands, such as forward word, backward word, forward char, backward char, up, down. All my Emacs commands will show on this window. So if we are talking about some Emacs topics, you Emacs users can see my commands. You can look them up. Basically all my commands are also on my website. You can search it. So let's see, Xah Talk Show, August 13th. Oh, 13th. Today is not Friday. Okay. Okay, so yeah, here we got the possible topics. So guys, hey Danielle Langlois, how are you? So topic Brexit. Okay, I don't know anything about Brexit. Actually, that's a Europe stuff. And you are American, right? I'm American. You are American, and you are in California, right? I believe. So I don't know, the British Empire, United Kingdom, what they are doing. I know it's a big thing. That's all I know. And they're trying to exit, but it's very complicated. They want to exit, emergency exit. Okay, Danielle, say something. Okay, so who else? Oh my God, I got five people. So people, please pick a topic. Like this today's. My chat is typically casual, and I'm not prepared. I mean, I mean, this is impromptu. This is not scripted. So just type a topic. What kind of topic you like to see, and let's talk about that. Okay. Oh yeah. Then shut up. So 3 raised to the power of 2 minus 2 raised to the power of 3 equals to 1. Is that true? I don't think that's true. I don't know. Well, hey Jacob, topic sociology. You guys are picking random topics. Oh yeah. So one random topic is actually, I guess it's part of my topic. It can be random, but you need to be specific. Like, okay, sociology. Yeah, but like what? There's so many things about sociology. Oh, by the way, okay, so if you guys want random, we can do random. So Brexit. I don't know anything about Europe. I haven't been to Europe. But there is one thing I know about Europe. That is the naming of Europe hold on a second. Let me adjust the. Actually, let's not adjust that because last time I tried to shrink this. You see, there's can you can see it, right? Can you see it? Let me see. Yeah. So you see the video that shows my head. Last time I tried to shrink it, and it because they are blank on the side. You don't need the blank on the side, but it seems to me it looks like it's going to slow down. So slow down the video so that my speech is not synced to my video. So Europe. Okay, so okay, I guess. So anyone, last chance, okay? Because once I start to talk about something, it's gonna be like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So if there's anyone who likes, to be a technical topics on Emacs, on JavaScript or stuff, say it, okay? Because otherwise once we talk about non-technical stuff, it's gonna be like random chat, and we don't have time to cover the all the watts of JavaScript, or all the new features of JavaScript 2015, because each one of those is gonna take 1 hour. So Xah Europa. So let me show you. Okay, so let me say it again. So if you want a technical topic, look at the description and type it. Say it now. Okay, you have 1 minute to do that. So Europa. Let me tell you about Europa. Oh, this topic is fantastic, interesting, and also this one, Europa. you know so who is she? Is Europa, and she is the mother of Europe, as far as name is concerned. She is from Greek mythology, so she is a girl. And you see this bull, this masculine, this giant, huge bull. The girl sits on it, the bull just take off. The bull represents the power, the masculinity. The bull just take off. The girls, hop on for a ride. So she's Europa, and she's a girl. And the bull, does anyone know who is the bull? Like, does anyone know? Type it. So Danielle Langlois, Jacob, you guys know who is the bull? Let me tell you, okay. And this story also from Greek mythology. The automata, the Talos. His name is Talos. Automata. It's very interesting. Oh, by the way, there is a voice to speech recognition software that's new. Let me show you. Sally blog. And the name of that software is called Talent. It's all coincidence. It's the Xali keyboard blog. Okay, so I'm going to talk about Europa and the Talos, the automaton. Am I still alive? Check, check. Yes, check. Okay, I'm still alive. so so let me tell you this news. Voice text input for programming. Okay, you are a programmer and you type a lot. Yes, Daniel says the bull is Zeus. Exactly. The Zeus, the god. Zeus, all powerful. He's the god of all gods, basically. The ruler. And Zeus screws every girl, every female, basically. So okay, let's go back to this topic later. So let's talk about Europa. Okay, so this Zeus, so this is Greek mythology. Zeus saw this girl, pretty girl, and oh yeah, so Zeus changed himself into a bull, a beautiful, masculine bull, and as the Greek says, seduced Europa. So, and by the way, so this theme, Europa and the bull, is one of the great topic subject matter in arts, in I guess in poetry, in arts. It's Greek mythology is kind of the foundation of Western philosophy. You could say that, you know. So anyway, so Zeus, he changed himself into this bull and seduced Europa. Trying to get her to hop on, and then just took off. what what a great guy. Oh my God, I wish I could be Zeus. And for girls, they wish they could be the girl. That's typical. uh, so there's this poetry. So this poetry is from Ovid. Now I don't know what that is, but I mean it's Asian poetry. So here's a description of abduction of Europa in Metamorphosis, which is a poem by Ovid. Oh, okay. So, and this is back in 43 BC. So there's a poem describing the scene, how Zeus seduced Europa. And Europa became Europe. That's the name. And let me show you some artworks. Okay, so all these are ancient. Now this one is in Pompeo. Where is Pompeo? Anyone knows? I don't know where is Pompeo. I thought it's in India. But anyway, so this one is from first century CE. Oh my God, I hate this CE. There's interesting thing about this naming of the year CE and B. So okay, let me digress for a little bit. Okay, let me digress. So before it used to be BC and AD. Okay, that's Latin. BC basically means before Christian, before Jesus. Something like that. BC, so it's year something, some year BC, before Jesus. Then you have AD. AD is Latin, stand for something something. Anyone knows? Type it. Okay, BC and AD. We can look up. But you guys can also look up. So, the year used to be BC and AD. AD basically means after Jesus is born. Then the leftists, okay, the left academ academicians, they changed. They started to not use that. Instead, um, they use BCE and CE. So BCE means before common uh, era. Okay, BCE means before common era, like before Jesus. Then CE means common era, like the AD. Okay, so there's this change, and then people fight over it, and today it's quite popular. Many universities textbooks, they use the BCE and CE instead of the BC and AD. Right, BC is before Christ, and AD is Anno Domini. Yes, okay, thank you, Jacob. Yeah, so there's this fight, leftists and versus Christians fight over the naming, the certain group, clamoring about she versus he. You have to say he and she and they, and today you have you have a bunch them and whatever, fighting. So let me tell you the story. So before, like 10 years ago, I on my own, I have like 5,000 articles on my website. I wrote them, and I used BC and AD. But however, I'm not a God believer. Okay, so I don't. And when for before 2010, USA is very much a Christian country. So Christian has power. They rule. Gay is not allowed. Porn is not allowed. You shall not do this or that. The Christians rule America. So, and I don't like that, of course. Well, because because I'm not a Christian. And so when it comes to AD and BC, okay, before Jesus, it refers to Jesus. I don't like that. I don't, that's not my preferred. I don't like that. And in the money, in US dollar money, you have in God we trust. Well, I'm American, but I'm, it's not God I trust. That doesn't mean much to me. So I didn't like that. But then, oh yeah, so at around 2006 or so, I changed all my website. Those AD, the BC and AD. I changed it to the this scheme. BCE before Common Era and the Common Era. Because I don't like when the Christian is dominant. George W. Bush, for example. They tell you what to do. So I changed the years to this BCE and CE. But now I want to change it back, but because the let's I don't want to mention the names because a certain group, the political gang in USA, I think that's far worse than the Christians. Okay, so rise, Christians rise. I don't like the BCE and CE anymore. I want to change it back to the BC and AD. So that's a little digression about the fight. The fighting of the little struggle. It's everywhere. You see, because everyone has opinions depending on what you believe. You want to anyway. There's this thing. I don't like today this leftist group. I think they are much more worse. And for example, we are talking about Europa, and Greek mythology, Europa, Zeus. This is the foundation of Western culture. In a big sense, it's a pillar of Western culture. But today this particular group they want to destroy it. They think, oh, this is certain words. They have certain words I don't want to use. Okay, let's not use it. Okay, don't type them because that's gonna get me banned. I don't want to get over there. So anyway, Europa and the bull, that's so you have artwork. So this is first century BC. Oh, CE, okay, so Common Era, first century. Then you have this. This is 460 BCE, okay, 460. So it's 2,500 years old. And you have this official coin of the European Union. Is that called European Union? EU, yeah, European Union official coin. So and look at the artwork. Here is the bull, that's Zeus, and this girl is Europa. So what does it say? Constitution Europa. So what language is that? I don't know. But anyway, anyone know what? So Constitution European, I guess. So Pompeii was a Roman city destroyed by the eruption of Mount Vesuvius. Oh, okay. So you are you are knowledgeable. Cat 44 said. Okay, thank you. So the Mount Vesuvius, I have a vague recall of that. I think that's a mountain in Italy, right? So yeah, so I guess Roman city, yeah, so that's in Italy. Pompeii is in Italy. So let's look up. So yeah, Italy, Rome, Rome and Greek and Rome. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to Wikipedia. Let's just get a. So how do you pronounce it? Let's see. Pompeii. Okay, Pompeii. Oh, two eyes. Okay, at the end. Pompeii. So it's in Italy. So this is like. Okay, so okay, so let's get back to Europa. So you have this artwork, beautiful. I love Greek mythology. I think it's beautiful. Not just the artwork, but the story of like all the Greek mythology. Like, if someone asks me what's your religion, sometimes I would claim Greek mythology. Okay, that is, I truly love Greek mythology because Greek mythology, unlike, for example, forgive me for saying, unlike the Christians or others, or well, and Buddhism is a bit different, and the Greek mythology is such that they reflect humanity, the all the the good and the bad, the human wantings, the desires, the behavior, the foibles, all the flaws, and like, for example, the story of Europa. This Zeus guy, all powerful, he wants to fuck. That's what he wants to do. Like all guys, especially powerful guys, and the girls. What do girls want? They want to get princess in shining armor. Whoever is powerful that can provide them wealth and security. And so this is a story of Europa in the bull. That's one of the it reflects reality. That's how we are. Um, and okay, so look at all these sculptures, and this one is in USA. So Europa in the bull by Carl Miles, University of Tennessee. Okay, this one is modern, and another modern one. So this one is from France. Okay, it's in France. So that's the story of the Europa and the bull, and I find it beautiful. And there's this poem here, metamorphosis. When you study, like I guess most of us are programmers, right? Uh, okay, so Dan V was asking me, what were you complaining about physicists on Twitter early today? That's just random. Random. That's troll. Okay, well, I'm not. I don't like the word troll. That's just my random. You can say it's troll. um. So let me talk about Europa here for a bit. Let me finish. Okay. So the so there's this poem Metamorphosis from Ovid, 43 year 44 43 BCE. So like most of us are programmers, right? Today we programmers, we study, oh, artificial intelligence, oh, the technology, oh, Google, oh, iPhone, oh, Apple just came out with a new phone, this and that, fuck. But if you look into philosophy, literature, Greek mythology, it's like a it's like an infinite whole. There's so much things in it. Humanity, history. There's so much. So and you cannot read them. You don't have time. I mean, even if you are not a computer, I mean, if even if you are not a programmer, I mean, you can devote your life to study programming stuff, computer science, theoretical or math. That's infinite. That's an infinite whole. But in the same way, literature and humanity, so-called the humanities, arts and humanities, that's a big whole, really. And so some people. Let me go to the what's going on here. Okay, so metamorphosis. What is this? Okay, so metamorphosis is a Latin narrative poem by Roman poet, Ovid, considering his magnum opus. Okay, the best. So comprising 11,000 lines, 15 books, and over 250 myths. So anyway, so in humanities, that's very extremely rich. Although they humanities like poetry, arts, philosophy, they don't make money for you. Um, as opposed to programming, the most shallow. I spit on programmers. Fuck the programmers. Unix philosophy. Unix philosophy. Oh, Linux. Oh, you should Linux. But anyway. So the literature. So if you're a programmer, you make oodles of money, and well, yeah, it's practical, But if you go into poetry, philosophy, history, you make zero money. You become, so-called artist, poor artist. But however, a society with artists, you need that because uh, it gives you the spirit, the culture, the substance of of society. So in other words, today, maybe I don't know if you feel it in USA, in lots of other countries, white countries, Canada, Europe, Australia, but also China and Japan. We young people are looking at phones every day. Looking at the phones, and all the problems we might say is because art is dying. Art. People keep saying that, but we don't know for sure. But however, you can kind of you can at least say it. We don't know it's really happening or not. Art is kind of we could say today we have all these problems because um, art and philosophy, they kind of are dying, and instead, today we got this crap and modern so-called modern art, like a toilet, like a urinal is an art piece in museum, like urinal. There's you splash your piss into a pen and splash it onto a wall. That's art. It's a modern art. So you could say um, you know um, it causes problems when a society, you don't have. And today, as one of the expert in humanities, one I truly admire, I think one of my two top favorite author is Camille Paglia. Okay. Oops, what's going on? Okay, I have the. Okay, so I think I turned on what is these applications? I turned on. Oh shit. Um, I think I turned on the sticky key, and that screwed up my. That's why this is weird things happening. Let me turn it off. I just turned on sticky keys like this morning. I thought I give it another try. So let me go back read the comments in a second. So let's turn off sticky keys. That is why I don't like sticky keys, because sometimes this happens. You press a key, you don't know what's going on. Um, so we were talking about art. Yeah, so one of my favorite. Oh god, this is not working anymore. What? Let's go. Okay, am I still alive? Okay, all my keys are not working. My god, what's going on? Sorry about that. There's something going on. I cannot get off this revert buffer. I think because the sticky key is screwing me up. Accessibility. Let me try it. Let's try it again, okay? And let me turn off. Okay, now I'm back. Sorry about that. That's a long delay. So one of my favorite author, Camille Paglia. Okay, let's see. So that's her name. I truly admire her because she is a king of humanities. She studied art and pop culture. I mean, any like today you have a lot of people, like young people. They think they are the cultural critic. Anyone can be a critic, but actually you have to, you know, like if you are a philosophy, that doesn't, a lot of philosophers actually they have to know mathematics. They are accomplished mathematicians or physicists. That you don't. They are not just philosopher because a lot of philosophers actually great ones. You actually are already a mathematician. Like you know more math than typical mathematicians, but you do philosophy, then you are a philosopher. Okay, things like that, or neuroscience. That study the brain or something. Philosophers. See, in a similar way, Camille Paglia is so-called a she one of her hat is social critic, pop culture critic or critics of film and stuff. But she knows more history than vast majority of historians. That's what it true a profession true expert. That's what it means. So I admire so much. So she can, for example, she look at, Europa. She can tell you a whole, like she can do a lecture for hours on all the related history and the art and relate how it relates to language, different, like a linguist, a master of languages, and she can do that. Oh my God! And so some people are like that. So okay, so let's read the comment. Let's see what's up. So let's see. Let's quickly read the comments first. So I'm gonna talk about my beef with physicists in a bit. So Maxim, good morning, Maxim. Maxim Banim says Greek mythology is also cool because it's rather easy to climb Mountain Olympus. Just nobody bothered. Is it? Why? What? Why? Climb Mount Olympus. By the way, is Olympus a real mountain? Mount Olympus? Uh, where are we? Okay, and Maxim says Ovid wrote 10K lines and think he's a pro. Yeah, well, that's I don't know, but that's a great poetry, right? It's an epic. Okay, so and not even debugged. Okay, so X Dark Prince. Good morning. Most of Western culture is stolen at one point or another. For example, Christian is basically a stealing mechanism, hard to maintain the facade indefinitely. Okay, I don't know anything about that. I don't really know. Um, and Dark Prince says, thus they veer towards technical, the rational as a way out. Uh, I'm not sure about that. Christian is very old. And Western and most Western and you says most Western culture is stolen at one point or another. That's hard to defend on this on this face value. That's hard to defend. Christian, one is one of the oldest religion. And so if you say Christian is, that's one of the oldest religion. Um, by the way, there's something I don't understand about Christianity. in general. So if you guys know, type it. Let me know. Okay, it's like so Christian. There are many branches. As far as I know. So you have Abraham or something. I might pronounce it wrong. Abrahamic religions, which includes Christianity, Islamism, uh, and another one believed by Jews. What's the what's that religion's name? Type it, guys. Okay, let me know. So these three also called Abrahamic religions. Okay, because they, from a scholar point of view, I mean, if you are a Christian or if you are Islam, Judaism. Okay, yeah. So I guess so the Jews people. Jewish people is a very complex topic. Okay, I don't really understand it. To me, it's just all white people. Like before I learned about Jews, it's just white people. I cannot tell, but it's a big issue in USA. But it's not my story. It's not my business because I'm Asian. I'm Chinese. I don't know that those stories. Even though you do have Jews in China, and you also have Islam's, in China. It's very complicated story, race and stuff. Anyway, so as far as I learned, this Abrahamic religions includes, Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. Because Christians has Bibles, Islam has Quran, or, something, and Judaism has something, how they call their scripture, and you look at them. I haven't read them, by the way. I've just read stuff. You look at their story, like they have the same characters. Like if you watch two movies, you have the same characters in them. They just the stories are slightly different. If you watch superheroes, you have Superman in this movie, but you also have Superman in that movie. Just the story is a bit different. So these three religions, they have kind of the same root. I think it's kind of diversified, but in Christianity, you know, as far as I know, then you have two big branches. You have the Protestants and you have the Catholics. Catholics. I don't know about this before, like let's say 20 years ago, but eventually you learned about them. So American is mostly Protestants, American. And Latin America, for example, I think Mexico and Brazil, Paraguay, they are Catholics, and I think most Europe is Catholics. I think. But anyway, the Catholic and Protestants, it's one giant chapter of history, of Western history. There's wars, uh, with how many dead? Millions? I don't know. But, there's Protestants and Catholics. And the Pope, the Pope, the Pope guy is the Catholic thing. It's not the, you know, by the way, you guys probably know, I'm probably, silly listening to me because if you are, white guys, you grew up, white guys, you probably know a lot more than, you think I'm silly talking nonsense. Anyway, that's, you know, so you can see, from someone outside us, you can see, what I'm seeing. So you have the Catholics, then you have the Protestants, but then, okay, in America, then later on, you also have the Mormons, in Utah. You have these Mormons people. Okay, they have a church of their own style. Also all these religions, their house of worship, they all have distinctive styles. This is very interesting. So Islam, they are and names also. They are worship. They have they call it, I what do you call them? But we can go to um, Xah Unicode. Okay, I'm rambling all over the place. But basically, my question is, what are the okay? So let me finish my question. My question is, so Protestants, and Catholics, and in USA you have also Mormons, but there are so many others. there's like, I've heard, episcopal something. Okay. Then there's a lot. Well, okay, at the moment, then I can't remember the names, but like often Eastern something. Then like there's a lot. Like, do you guys? Is there some page, or can someone like give a quick summary of the branching? Like which one diversified into what? So I know, I guess, Mormons is kind of diversified from Protestants. But okay, so what are the Episcopals thing? And and also in Europe, you also have that. So I don't understand. Like, I have no idea. So if someone knows, type it. Okay, like, give some general picture. Um, and there are a lot of names. I don't remember name at the moment. So if someone can give a quick, if possible at all, a summary of what branches came out from what, that would be great. Like, a few times I tried to read Wikipedia, but as you know, this is a giant topic. So when you go to Wikipedia, it's like very complex, tens of pages. You get overwhelmed. You don't get the nice picture. You get overwhelmed about all the different branches. But anyway, so what? So let's go look at Unicode. Unicode. Let's see. Let's go to places. Places. Okay. Then you see you have different. Okay, church. In general, Christian, the buildings Christian worship is called church. Okay. Then Japan is called, in Japan or China, the Buddhism is called temple. Okay. Then in the oh yeah, so the Judaism is called synagogue, right? Yeah, I hope I'm not making a mistake, because if you do make a mistake on these kind of things, people get offended. Okay, and the Islam, their worship is called mosque, or maybe you pronounce it mosque. Then okay, yeah, and yeah, church is the does church, is there a distinction between Protestant or Catholic? And then you have this place called Kaaba, which is like one place in somewhere in Middle East. That's a giant worshiping place, and that building looks like that. It's a cube. It's a black cube. Um, and in Japan, okay, so Japan, you have this Shinto shrine. Japan has Buddhism, but it's slightly different from China. So I don't really know about Japanese Buddhism, but in China you have Buddhism, yeah, and you call it temples. Then you have Taoist temples. Um, you also have several Buddhism like branches. I don't really know the details. Oh yeah, so there's a name, Orthodox, right? Eastern Orthodox. So let's see. Let me read the comments. Uh, so X-Stock Prince says, uh, monotheism is basically cultural colonialism that was done in the Mid East against the pagans. Monotheism, does that mean one god? Okay, I guess that's what it means. Monotheism is basically cultural colonialism that was done in the Mid East against pagans. Okay, I'm not too sure about that. Let's not be too harsh, okay? Because this is a sensitive topic. And Dark Prince says Christianity originated as a Roman origin colonial propaganda against Middle East. Okay. Okay. I don't know for sure. And Dan says outsider perspective is usually very illuminating. Okay, well, ex Dark Prince. So where you from? you have to say where you from, so people get to know where you coming from. Um, when you make strong statements. Uh, Dan says, I'm sure you can find good Wikipedia article on all those branches. Yeah, but usually they are overwhelming. You look up Wikipedia on Christianity, then it's like 40, 50 pages with 100 links branching off. Like see detail. These, it's like that. I've done that before. Um, and also, if your life is not tied to these things, you forgot, you forgot after you read them. uh, so X-Stock Prince says monothesis schisms are like corporations getting splitting up, and driving force of usually pursuit of colonial power and parasitism. That's of colonial loot. Okay, that's strong opinions. uh, Okay, so doctrine says Christianity and Islam are basically colonialisms. Well, I wouldn't say that. Because even though I don't, those are not religions I believe in. But to say them as colonialism, that's kind of like a biased view. I mean, even though I could agree with you but still I think it's would be biased because any religion, Buddhism or any giant religion, you can call them all to be colonialism, because they are Asian. That's how human we struggle for power, or we, like you don't even have to say religion. You can say that you can apply this you can say anything is colonialism when it's big. So that's what we do, human animals. We can say we also, as an animal species, we also colonialize the whole earth. You see, we bred cows, pigs, we bred and eat them. You have pets, whose whole life lives in your house and don't want to do anything else, and they are happy. That's, we are, as a species, we are colonialism. Okay, let's read what Wikipedia say. What the definition? Okay, colonialism is the policy of a nation seeking to extend or retain its authority over other people or territories. Yeah, okay. So generally with the aim of economic dominance. Okay, yeah. So if you say religion, if you say particular religion is that's kind of biased, because any big successful religion or organizations is colonialism. That applies, that applies. So Mark Sim says Eastern Orthodox branched off about 1,000 years ago, and Protestants with Luther later. Okay, yeah. So those are two big names. I get confused. Your sentence seems ambiguous. So Eastern Orthodox branched off from what? From where? From which? From Catholic or from Protestants? And Protestants with Luther later. Yeah, that's so vague. So Luther is from where? Like, so Protestants is a branch off from Luther, and where is Luther branch off from? So your sentence, I'm pretty sure it's very clear to you. It's totally confusing to me. Uh, oh, so Orthodox by name means is not from Catholics. Okay, so so Catholics was a branch. Okay, so it's still I'm totally confused. All I know, okay, let me try to summarize what I know. All I know is there's Catholics and there's Protestants. Okay, these two are like big two. and somewhere later, then there's moments. I think it's a branch of Protestants. You could say that. That's all. That's basically what I know. Okay, so then there's this Eastern Orthodox. So where is it branching off from? And there's this Luther. Where is it branching off from? Uh, so I don't understand. Okay. So Jean Louis says, automatically update. No point in waiting without exact time. Oh, Jean Louis. Hi, Jean Louis is from Mastodon. So you are saying the link did not automatically update. No point in waiting without. No, I later on. No, I did. Okay, we are talking about YouTube. On YouTube, I had a problem where normally when you do a live stream, you can have a URL to send it to people, so people know, or people when people go to your channel, they will see, there's a live stream scheduled at certain time. And for me, excuse me, hold on a second. So wait. Okay, so for me, I never set that up. So I never got the URL, but today I did, thanks to Jean Louis, who got me to do that. So we were talking about that. So next time, whenever I'm going to do a live, I mean, if you go to my channel, I should now I know how to set it up so that you got a URL. In fact, I think the URL will always just be this one. youtube.com/c/xali/live. I think. Anyway, I'm getting better at these. Let's get back to the comments, and let's see how long I've been talking. What? Okay, I've been talking for 50 minutes. So if you guys have any questions, you can just post it. Maybe we will end it soon. Okay, so yes, of course, that is purely colonialism. Okay, so Jean Louis says, that is why I do not join any governments or similar suppressive organizations. Okay, Orthodox by name means it's not from Catholics. Okay, Catholics was a branch. Okay, sure, Orthodox means unchanged. Okay, so yeah, I read that Orthodox is it means the original church started by Jesus, supposed to be, right? That's I think that's what it's supposed to be. So, Russian is Orthodox, huge. Oh, okay. By the way, where are you from, Jean Louis? Like what country are you? So you from Russian? All Christianity is basically Jewish. Is that so? Then why is there the Jewish religion, Judaism? Yeah. Okay. So then Dark Prince says there are natural religions, aka paganism, monotheism, that militates against nature, does not compare. What do you mean? Military, or meter. Uh, okay, Maxim says Catholics let Rome to have a pope, and Orthodox got their head of church from Constantinople. So either say Orthodox is a branch of Christianity. Okay. Oh my God, this is getting really complex, involving all this history, constant. Yeah, so that is why it's very confusing. So now Croatia, right? That's how you pronounce it, Croatia. I'm near Russia. Oh, so you are from Croatia. Let's see how you pronounce that. And so Croatia is in Eastern Europe. Oh no, well, yeah, I guess. Let's see Wikipedia. Cro Croatia, something like that. So it's a country at the crossroads of Central and Southeast Europe. Okay, so Hungary. So okay, yeah, there. Oh, the flag is that interesting flag. I don't remember seeing this flag. You got this, race, race cars theme motif in the middle. That is the this flag. So let's see if we have CRO. Oh yeah. So okay. So that's yeah. That's a Croatia flag. Okay. All this talks about religion. Protest Protestantism and other branches started around 1500. Okay. John says it's in Bible. Bible was written for Jewish people, not for others. Oh, okay. But Western people who were not Jewish found it suitable to manipulate everybody. Okay. The Bible is plagiarized Canaanite pagan religion. Okay. So it seems Doc Prince, you don't like these religions very much, but you have to give some information about yourself, like where you from. Yeah, I don't think you never said you have, say a country, say a country at least. Maxim says Croatia. Okay, so Jean Louis says I'm a cosmopolite. all these all these words I don't understand. I was born in Yugoslavia. Okay, great. So we have a lot cosmopolitans. Cosmopolitan is a interesting word. Now, is cosmopolite, is that an English word or is it just no, it's not an English word. We say in English, I guess we say cosmopolitan. You don't say cosmopolite. Let's look up. Let's see. So cosmopolitan. That's an interesting word. But there's this magazine, girls' magazine, using that word. Uh, it becomes something else. Let's see. Dictionary. Okay. A person who is cosmopolitan in his or her ideas. Oh, okay. So that is a English word. Cosmopolite. Okay. Cosmopolite. So you are cosmopolite because you are a cosmopolitan. Okay. Right. Citizen of the world. Okay, so we are talking about religions, cosmos. Yeah, so the topics about religions, you guys are not giving me a coherent answer. But maybe because there is no coherent answer, because I was asking, the branch, yeah, how the branches of Christianity, but so far from the various replies, the answers are confusing, so I don't get the picture. But probably because there's no, from the look of it, there's no like easy picture one can give. Actually, I think there is. You need to ask some of some people, some of the experts. Then they can give you kind of like an outline. When you give an outline simplified version, it's always not correct. Some people will say, "Oh no, that's wrong," but however, you see, whenever anything is given in a summary or outline, it's almost in a sense by definition, it's incorrect. It's like statistics or stereotype. Today there's a certain group of people, they say, "Oh, that you are stereotyping, you are wrong." But however, stereotyping is like it's like the cream of statistics. It gives you, if you have to say certain subject in one sentence or in one picture, that's what statistics are. Or stereotype are. So in a sense, that is actually, you can say, like in math, it's like actually a theory. It gives you the, in one word, it condenses the whole thing into one picture or one word. That's what statistics or theories or stereotypes are about. So anyways, yeah, so we rambled here and over there and here. We were talking about, let's talk about so there's this, let's change your subject. There is this voice input for programmers. The software is called Talent Voice. So you might try it today. It seems it has matured. So check it out. So if you are a programmer, you type a lot, you hurt your hands. This could be very handy. And I suppose as years goes by, this will be very popular or mainstream. Because the voice technology gets better and better, so it's worth checking out. He's doing coding with voice input. So yeah, so check that out, and let me put the links here. um, yeah, for GNU systems. Yeah, okay, so Jean-Louis, you are an open source fan, right? Did you know that I'm not too much of open source fan? Yeah, because if you have seen my old pictures, I mean my YouTube talk shows, I a lot of them I have flamed against open source. And also, by the way, I was a Free Software Foundation fanatic. Okay, so you are a free software. Well, it's kind of this. It's not the same though. I mentioned this many times in my talk show. Like some of my talk show, like I ran for an hour about this topic. Open source and free software. I was a free software and Richard Stallman fanatic. And today not so much. I so anyway, uh, I don't want to talk about that again because I've been talking about that so very often in my talk shows, and also because I'm what I do almost all in my past 20 years. I'm doing open source stuff. Emacs, Python, Perl, all open source stuff. Linux, Unix. So my readers, my followers tends to be all the you know open source or free software, all these group people. So anyway, anyway, voice input. Yeah. So if you want the open source version, usually it's hard. But anyway, go to their website. They show. The, I don't know if there's a open source version that's workable. Like almost, it's like Linux. Like when you do Linux or anything open source, it's usually the case that almost everything you do, especially when it comes to video or audio, it's a problem. You're gonna spend days, to find the right software, find bugs, things like that. On the other hand, if you are on Windows or Mac, it's almost like it's there. You can just use it. So yeah, so you got open source, but then you got you have all these problems. Pros and cons. Anyway, so let's not let's not drill into that topic because then I'm gonna talk for an hour about that, the open source, and I rant again about open source and free software foundation because because really I'm deeply part of it, and it's not a happy story. It's anyway. So I think we are about to end because I've been talking for an hour now. Yeah, yeah. So a few last thing. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Just type it. Uh, Open source can be proprietary. Free software is different. No, that is you didn't say it correctly. Okay, free software. I'm starting to go into that direction. Okay, I can give you a definition. Free software is mostly about ethics, ethical quality. You want people to have this ethical quality. Share software, which includes part of it includes that, meaning that the software must be open source. Okay, but that's not the focus. The focus is not about open source code. It's basically a moral oriented perspective. You want to share, you want to encourage people to share so we can all share and grow together. That's the focus of Free Software Foundation. Their idea of free software. Open source is about open source code, but not proprietary, because by definition, when the source code is open source, they have licenses, they have the open source organization, they define what license is open source. You can say it's open source. Okay, so when you are open source, it's not proprietary. If you it's proprietary, it's not open source. But however, open source software, you could have open you could have you may have patents, and you may have trademarks, things like that. Google, Facebook, Apple, they are all, and today Microsoft, they are all big proponents of open source. They embrace you guys. They embrace the world as one open source. Meanwhile, they are the most evil. Okay, I'm gonna stop going over there. My rants again is open source. So I never tried the Talent Voice. I never tried. Uh, so that video is not by me. But it's worth checking out. So I'm just saying. We can let's have a look. Since we are, let's go have a look. See. So Talent. So they say, okay, dependencies. Dragon 6, which is commercial. Uh, on Windows, I'm not sure. I think they also have a Mac version, but it may not be supported anymore. And also Dragon, they have many versions. Like each year or every few years, they have a new version. Some of them early versions you can buy on Amazon very cheap. $5. But usually the latest version is something like $40. I think I never use it. I had a friend who had Dragon. But anyway, so there's Dragon. Now Toby 4C, I'm not sure what it is. Let's have a look. Amazon. So what is this? Toby Eye Tracker 4C, the game-changing eye tracking peripheral. Okay, so this is about using eye tracking as a mouse. That's another thing. Very interesting. Hold on a second. Okay, so this is for Mac only, I guess. So I guess you are not on a Mac. Yeah, so you are not lucky. But typically, I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be using it neither. But however, I think there's more than one talent. Okay, there's more you can look into. Like go to this link. Now this one is done in 2003. Um, check it out. There's a video by this guy, and in general, like just search for voice input. Like I've seen a few, like in recent years. It looks like they are growing. This technology. Uh, okay, I think that's it for today. We've been talking for an hour. Yeah. So how many people I got? 6 people. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you guys. Thank you, Luis. And who else is here? Uh, thanks, John. And bye, guys. 7 watching. Yeah.